This presentation will provide step-by-step instructions for completing the WD-10, or Data Collection Form, which the Department of Labor Wage and Hour Division uses to collect information for Davis-Bacon wage surveys. Information provided by interested parties, associations, unions, and contractors will be kept confidential and will not be used to target enforcement efforts by the Wage and Hour Division. Information provided for wage surveys will only be used to establish prevailing wage rates to be paid on Davis-Bacon covered construction projects. This form is machine readable and should not be photocopied. You can type in or write in the information. Additional forms can be obtained through the regional office conducting the survey. Box 1. This information pertains to the contractor who performed the work, and the submitter should fill in the data for each of the fields provided. Those fields with asterisks are required. If you received a form from the Wage and Hour Division, contractor and project information may already be filled in. However, your response is not limited to projects we have already identified. We request that you submit a form for every construction project within the parameters of the survey. Blank forms are generally provided to each interested party. Box 2 pertains to the submitter of the information, or the person completing the form. Note the options that identify the submitter as being from a government agency, a contractor association, a contractor, or a local union. You can also select Other if necessary. You would then provide the name, title, organization, and contact information. Phone numbers and email addresses are important in the event we must contact you for clarification of data provided. Box 3 refers to the name of the project for which data is being provided. Again, this information may have been known by wage hour and already captured on the form. Corrections can be made to this data. Additional forms should be used for additional projects. Please provide specific information for each project, as well as the name of the general or prime contractor, if known. This enables us to more easily identify each project in the survey. In Box 4, we're simply asking if the project identified in Box 3 is a federally funded or state-funded project. If it is not, please check Neither. If it is both federal and state-funded, you may check both. In Box 5, we are capturing specific information regarding the project's start date, end date, and the value of the project. This information ensures that the project is within the parameters of the survey. Data is collected on projects active within a specific time frame, and the entire value of the project must be over $2,000. In Item 5, please indicate if the contractor performing the work is the general contractor or a subcontractor on the project identified in Box 3. If you are a general or prime contractor, we're also asking you to provide a list of the subcontractors on the project. An additional form is provided for a list of the subcontractors, and this list can be submitted prior to the submission of the actual WD-10 form. Please indicate whether the list was provided earlier, if the list is being submitted with the WD-10 form, or if there were no subcontractors. Where possible, please submit your subcontractors at your earliest convenience so that wage hour can notify these contractors and allow them ample time to respond. If you are a subcontractor, you can provide any lower tier contractors or simply check there are no subcontractors. In Item 5B, we are requesting the start and end date of the project as a whole, as well as the project value. If known, these dates should represent the day work began on the project and the day work ended. You can check whether the dates supplied are actual dates or estimated dates. If you are a subcontractor and are only able to provide the dates and value of your portion of the project, this information is to be provided in 5C, and again, these dates can be actual dates or estimated dates. In Box 6, we are asking for clarification of the type of project identified in Box 3. Please select the item that best describes the project as a whole. You may select more than one item. As an example, if you performed site preparation for a new school, you would select both school and site preparation. If you selected apartment building, nursing, assisted living facility, or residential, we ask that you provide the number of stories and indicate whether there is a kitchen and bath in each unit. This information allows WageHour to properly identify projects as building or residential construction. We now move on to the back of the WD-10 form. Note on the top right of the form, there is a section regarding contractors who only supplied material. If you only supplied materials and performed no actual construction work at the site of the project, please check here. You do not need to provide any additional information for the project. The back of the WD-10 is where all information relative to wage rates for your various employees is provided. We first ask for classification of your employees, that is, what these employees are called. Carpenters, sheet metal workers, electricians, laborers, and equipment operators are a few examples. This title would be entered in the area under Classification. We next ask for the type of work performed by the classification of worker listed above on the project listed in Box 3. Did carpenters perform general carpentry work, or did they perform any specialty work, such as drywall framing and hanging, form setting? Did electricians do low-voltage wiring or installation of security systems? Are your iron workers doing structural, reinforcing, or ornamental iron work? Are your laborers performing general or common laborer work, or something more specialized, such as pipe laying or mason tending, or operating power tools? And what type of equipment did the power equipment operators operate on the project in Box 3? Are plumbers performing general plumbing work, or are they installing pipes for HVAC systems? And are the sheet metal workers installing duct for HVAC systems, or are they installing metal roofs? You can list more than one type of work or equipment. We are asking for specific duties in order to properly classify each group of workers to ensure that the information used to calculate the wage rate is based on wages paid to workers doing the same type of work. We next ask if the workers listed were paid under a CBA. Are they union workers? And if yes, please indicate the local union number with which they are signatory. For each classification, you should provide the number of workers employed during the peak week of construction on the project. This allows you to provide information on your greatest number of employees. Enter the week ending date for that peak week. Indicate the hourly rate paid for the listed employees and the number of employees paid that rate in that week. List employees paid different wage rates, fringe benefits, on separate lines. We ask that you do not average the wage rates paid to your employees, as that could skew the calculation performed by WageHour. Exclude information on apprentices in approved programs and trainees in formal programs, as WageHour does not publish wage rates for apprentices or trainees. Lastly, we ask for information on fringe benefits provided to each of the employees listed. Use the 5 benefit-related columns to enter your fringe benefit amounts. You can enter dollar amounts or a percentage of the hourly rate by checking the appropriate circle. You would also indicate where the dollar amount is per hour, week, month, or year by entering H, W, M, or Y in the box provided. If you are unsure as to the type of fringe benefit, enter the costs in the additional fringed column and provide an explanation in the description box below. Box 8 allows for comments or remarks, and we ask that the submitter sign and date the form. You will also receive a form to list your subcontractors for each of your projects. Project names can be entered on the left side of the form, and subcontractor information is entered on the right side of the form. You can also attach your own list of subcontractors if you prefer. Again, we emphasize that subcontractor lists can be forwarded prior to submitting your WD-10 form. This completes our instructions for completing the WD-10, or data collection form. Your participation in this process is very important. If you have any questions about completing the WD-10, would like additional forms, or have general questions about the survey process, please call the appropriate regional office. Information on regional offices, electronic submission of WD-10 forms, and information regarding the Davis-Bacon Act can be found at our website, dol.gov/WHD. Thank you for your interest in this extremely important process, and thank you in advance for your participation in our survey.